Hello everyone. Today we're looking at an addition to the AI Project Management Assistant and Personal Assistant. So, since the last time we seen this workflow, I've added to it LinkedIn posting ability. So we can now create content for LinkedIn and then post it automatically with a human just checking to check that the post is to their satisfaction. So let's have a look. So here we've got the main project management assistant. We've got the two new workflows here and here. So we've got the post creator, which will, based on the prompt and the target audience, create a nice post on the subject, and then we'll also create an image to go with it. And it will then store it in the database. Then we've got the posting agent to grab that from the database and put it up onto LinkedIn. Then we've got the email agent as we had before. We've got the calendar agent. Keep an eye out on the channel. I'm going to be making a calendar built in Baserow, so then that way you can manage all of your appointments and keep all your appointments hosted in Baserow. So we'll have a look at that in the future. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Then we've got a research agent here. Your projects and tasks, project management part of the agent. You've got your knowledge base, which the knowledge base and the chat memory is now running on Postgres. So because we're now using a lot more of the self-hosted server. And then you've got your contacts agent just there. Let's look at the main workflow. So we've got the chat trigger just here, as we had before, from Telegram. Then you've got your voice transcription, which then goes into the project management assistant here. Then you've also got, if you've written it in text, going into there as well, and your output response just there. We've added the think tool to upgrade the agent to make it smarter. The contacts agent is there, email agent, calendar agent, project management and tasks, your research agent. Then we've got the two new agents just here, and the calculator, so it can do calculations if necessary. We've also added an ID lookup for the content posting, so that the main agent can grab the row number and give it directly to the posting agent. So here's a prompt for the update prompt for the main agent. So as you can see here, we've added extra for the social media publisher agent, and also the social media creator agent. And there is the extra bit of prompt to make sure that it doesn't keep posting over and over again without checking, or post the wrong content that was created, or get confused. So let's look at those two new workflows. Here's the content creation part of the agent now. So we've got the trigger coming from the main agent. There's the topic of the post. That's your target audience, and then there's the ID for sending a message to Telegram. Here we've got the prompt for creating the LinkedIn post. Then what we've got is we've got the prompt for creating the image prompt. I've added a personalization so that it will also incorporate the company logo into the post. That's also possible. Then we've got the image generation, where it'll send that prompt to the image model and create the image binary file. Here's where it sends that binary file back to Telegram, and the message back to Telegram as well. Then down this path, we've got the HTTP request to upload the binary to Baserow, and then you've got the database entry creation, which will then link this and put it into the database directly. A lot more organized than having it in a Google Sheets. You can't store the images directly in a Google Sheets. You'd have to have Google Drive and Google Sheets, and makes it quite a mess. So it's very, very streamlined to work this way, because you could then have other agents that all link to that database. So if you wanted to also have an agent that posts onto Instagram or X or any of the other platforms, you can do that by just looking it up in that database, and it's all nicely organized. Right, let's look up the posting agent. The posting agent is quite simple. So it's just a very, very simple workflow here. So it can look it up based on the row ID or the name. Usually it will use the row ID anyway, because that's just a lot more accurate. Baserow expects a row ID to grab individual records anyway, so that's usually how the agent works. That's why we've got the row ID lookup in the main agent. Then you've got the HTTP request to grab the image, and it's already got the main message here. Then it posts it directly into LinkedIn and then sends a success message back to the main agent. Right, so for some of these nodes, so when you want to do authentication on these nodes, on this node, when you're setting it up, you can add an extra API for the images if you wish, or you can use your other API that you use for OpenAI for your AI model if you're using it. Then for your HTTP request, you've got header auth just here, and what you'd do is you would go in here and you'd create a new credential, and then you would go look through the API docs and put in the relevant information for the credential just there. So it's authorization, and then I believe it's token space, and then you would put in the API key. And then for the posting agent, you've got your normal Baserow credentials in here. So it's just grabbing the information from the database. Then what you've got is you've got your HTTP request, where when you've got the previous node there, it will show a link to the URL of the image, and it's got a selection of different. It stores it in a selection of different sizes if you needed to. So you could even have a thumbnail for if you have a use for a thumbnail, and then this will then download it. So when it's at this end, it's a binary file. So what we've got is get, and then it'll download it as a binary file, and then in the LinkedIn node just here, you've got your account credentials there, which you need to go and set up OAuth in LinkedIn. Then it's post, create, and then you'll select who you are, and then for the text you just grab that from the previous node, and then you would need to select it as this one. Usually when you first open it up it's as none, and what you do is you select image, and then it's just data, because that's how n8n refers to the binary file when it's in n8n. So let's see it at work. Create a LinkedIn post on the merits of using AI automations to automate your social media posting and how it can increase your productivity. So we're now going to send that to Telegram. It'll take a moment. If it takes too long, I may cut it out and then come back once it's finished. Last time when I was doing this test, I didn't have it fully activated and I would grab it individually, but this time the workflow is fully active, so it's just going off in the background and doing it. So it will pop up here once it's done. It takes a little bit of time for it to do all of that and run the workflow, because the image generation part of the workflow takes a little bit of time for OpenAI to create the image. There we go, there's the message is back. So let's have a look at the image. So there's the image there. The company logo isn't always perfect, but that's something that can be adjusted over time. But as you can see, brings up some quite vibrant images. And then what we've got here is we've got the main post just here. Usually if I'm trying to reference it in the database at first, I will copy the name of it, and then I will tell it, please post this new post named to So I've put a safety mechanism in place, a guardrail in place, so that if you don't specify the name of the post or the row ID, it should look up in the database at the last few ones that were created, and then give you a list to get to post it. So as we can see here, last one was row number 97. So I'm just going to say post row ID 97. But you could refer to it by the name that it just put as that post, and then it would put it up. But I wanted to show the safety measures in place so that you don't keep posting lots and lots and lots of pictures, or post it multiple times very accidentally. Right, so it's now saying it's successfully posted. It'll take a moment for it to refresh on there, so let's have a look. There we go, there's a post. We didn't touch a LinkedIn at all. Let's create another one. Create a LinkedIn post on the benefits of having your business automated so you can work from anywhere in the world, and how this gives you financial and life freedom. So let's see what it comes up with that. And in the meantime, let's go and have a look at the database itself. So we've got the project management database, which, as we said before, is from one of Baserow's templates. So when you start at Baserow, if you go to their inbuilt templates and go to the project management database, then that will bring up the projects, the tasks, the clients, the team, and then the content bit. What I've done is I've created a new table. So you just click new table just there. Let's actually create one in real time. So new table, test. Start with new table there. If you were importing information from somewhere else, like a spreadsheet, what you can do is you can actually import the data, and then it will start semi-populating the fields, and then you can just correct anything that it hasn't got quite right, and it will actually create all the columns for you, so it can make it very easy to migrate data from one platform to another into Baserow. It's really an excellent platform, and if you have any problems with any of the things that you're trying to set up, their forums and community is excellent. When I've had the odd thing where I needed to check something, I've put up a post, and usually within 24 hours someone's responded, and they're very, very helpful. And usually their first or second response has already solved the problem. So it's an excellent community if you're looking at building something that's going to be used in production. So let's create that table. So this is how the table would be created. So name, notes, and then active. So what you then do is go into edit fields. This one's set as a Boolean at the moment, so true or false. But what you can do is you can set it to, in this case, we wanted to put a file in, so we'd set it to upload file, change the name, test file, save. So then that is where you would be able to store files. You can have the name of the record, and then you can have some notes. So going back to the content database, that's what I did. I opened a new table as part of the project management database. Change the names of these parts. So this is a string. This is a string. So single line of text there. Single line of text there. Then you've got, in this one, because it's a bigger field, we've got long text, so that'll be a bigger field, and then we've got the images there. And the great thing about Baserow, over using something like a spreadsheet, you can grab the images straight inside. So this is one, if you look on my LinkedIn, this is one that you'll see was posted earlier, made when I was testing the workflow. Another one just there. This is when I was testing the prompt for the company logo. Another one just there. So you can see all these posts have been put straight up using the workflow. Right, so now let's test the workflow. So there we go, it's sending it to the post creation agent. This bit takes some time. So what happened there, why it didn't run, is I don't always top this particular account up with a lot of credit, and during testing I'd run through the API credits. So there we go. When you're running your workflows, make sure that you have your API credits topped up. Most of the time I use a lot of self-hosted LLMs, but on this one, for demo purposes, I'm using all of the proprietary models. So there we go. There's the image. Business automations, 30% increase in efficiency, and then company logo just there. And then we've got the actual post just there. Sometimes it will so there we go. It's now given the row ID there. Post. There we go. Post row ID to LinkedIn. So now if we keep an eye on LinkedIn, we'll see that it's going to post it up to LinkedIn. So if you want custom images made with all your company logo in there, then this is the way to do it. Fully automated. You have creative license over the messages, because you can make the prompt as advanced as you want to get your message across, and then you can post it up onto LinkedIn all automatically. So let's yes, it's not fully activated, so I need to run the workflow again. There we go. Usually I'll leave it fully activated and fully active up here, but there we go. Now it's posted it up, successfully posted it up onto LinkedIn. So let's give it a refresh. There we go. 30% increase in efficiency. Posted directly onto LinkedIn. So this can save you time, keep engagement up. You can then go on there, interact with people, so that you can keep the algorithm active on LinkedIn. You can adjust the prompt to give it your personality and to give the message and ethos of your company, and you can fully customize it for your needs. I'd just like to say a thank you to one of the viewers of the first video about the AI personal assistant, for purchasing the workflow and also sending a tip for the workflow as well. As they only bought it a day ago, I'll be sending them the updated JSONs for this workflow to upgrade it free of charge. If anyone's interested in this workflow, then in the description is a link to be able to buy it, and also a link to other resources, including including crypto if you'd like to donate to the channel to keep the channel running, and a link to the company website if you'd like me to do some consulting for you and assist you in any automations in your company. Thank you for watching and enjoy automating.